Show featuring a different Pike County school each week. The Eastern Eagles, the Waverly Tigers, the Western Indians, and the Piketon Red Streaks are the spotlight for the next 60 minutes. And now live from the Ritchie's Backyard Barbecue Party Room, here are your hosts, T. Fred, Rockin' Raj, and the Madman, Mike Davis.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Ritchie's Inside the Paint. We are coming to you live from the Ritchie's Backyard Barbecue Party Room in Piketon. We did have the Waverly girls scheduled to come tonight, but this is that time of year when you have weather issues that forces schedule changes, game changes, practice changes. So we had them scheduled. They had to cancel. Either they had a game or some kind of practice tonight because of missing school and whatnot. So tonight, what I thought we could do, fellas, is for as far as the boys' season go, we're about at the halfway mark, just a little past it for the boys. We're a little closer to the end for the girls. But since the three of us do play-by-play on the boys' games, I thought we could maybe break down the season so far. Joining me tonight, as always, is T. Fred, and then over there is the man himself, Rockin' Raj. We don't have a crowd tonight, unfortunately, because, like I said, Waverly had to cancel on us. Next week, we do plan to have the Eastern Eagles girls basketball team. Then we're going to do Western after that. Like to get the Waverly Tiger girls in. And then we want to circle back to Piketon and Waverly. We want to give them each their individual show. If you recall, if you've been tuning in since the beginning of this show, what we did is we kind of combined Waverly and Piketon together, and then we decided to focus on one school after that, bringing crowds, cheerleaders, and that's kind of worked out well. Yes. And that way, we just want to give them the proper way to do it. We can bring their players or cheerleaders, whatever they want to do, talk to their coaches more, and it'll be kind of towards tournament time, and we can see where the Tigers and the Red Streaks are going to land maybe for tournaments. But with that being said, fellas, we're just past the halfway point. Looking at the Eastern Eagles right now, they are 6-7 overall. They are 2-1 in SOC2 action. Correct, T. Fred? You got the...
I'm looking right now, buddy.
That's what I've got on...
2-1, yes. 2-1. Northwest is 3-0. Eastern's 2-1. Simmons Valley 2-1. Western 1-2. South Gallia 1-2. Oak Hill 0-3.
Well, and then that takes us over to the Western Indians. They are in the same division as the Eastern Eagles, so they're 1-2. They're 4-10 overall, and that record kind of surprises me this year, guys, after seeing the games that I've seen with Western. I know that they brought a lot of kids back from last year, especially with Haggie and Janes. And for them to be 4-10, I think, and I know we say this a lot, it gets said, their record really doesn't reflect their style of play, but I really think that's the case for the Indians. I mean, they're a really tough, solid team. They focus a lot on defense, too, and they've got some, lots of offensive weapons. But 4-10, it's just been a rough go. There's a lot of good teams in the SOC this year with Minford and Berg. I mean, and you've seen them, more than I have, or more than we have, T. Fred. But 4-10, 1-2 in SOC2. The Waverly Tigers, T. Fred, are 7-5, correct?
Yep, 7-5.
And they're 1-2 in SOC3, right?
Let me see here. SOC3 boys, they're 1-2. And we haven't played since the South Webster game, so we've been off almost 10, I don't know how many days that's been.
Yeah.
But we have some good practices. Coach Kyle Bradley's made some tweaks on offense and defense, and the kids are shooting the ball a lot better right now. One thing's for sure, we're getting a lot done. We normally wouldn't have all that practice time because of games, but we go Friday night. Waverly hosts Portsmouth West, and it was a 3-point game down there. And they just lost last night to Wheelersburg 54-53. So we know that's going to be a dogfight.
Yeah.
And Saturday, Waverly travels to Miami Trace. Miami Trace, I don't know. I thought I put that league down, FAC. Yes, they're 7-0 in the FAC. So we know our work is cut out for us on Saturday night for sure. And West will be a dogfight, so we're able to get back in action. And next week they've got 3 games, maybe 4, with the Memphis game, maybe. I don't know if they'll put it in there next week or not, because 3 games a week is more than enough for any basketball team.
And any broadcaster, right?
And any broadcaster, you got it.
Yeah, you were set to have 4 this week or 3 or
4.
Yeah, we got 3.
Vikings got 3.
Yeah, we had 1 last night. We have 1 tomorrow night. Tomorrow night is our makeup game against Southeastern. And then we travel up to the pit at Zane Trace and play on Saturday. So that's going to be an interesting game. But yeah, that is a lot for a broadcaster too. So unfortunately, they did cancel the Minford game. There was a death of a student.
Your number 1 hit music station.
So that's always unfortunate. I'm not sure. You guys were scheduled to play Valley tonight, right?
Originally Valley, we've got them next Thursday.
Okay.
Next Thursday. So we've got. I don't have the schedule in front of me, but I know for a fact we got. What do we got there?
Well, I got your schedule, but I don't know how updated it is.
Well, I can tell you as soon as I look at it.
But it looks like so. You've got Portsmouth West on the 26th, Miami Trace on the 27th,
Yep.
Eastern. That must be Eastern Brown.
Yeah, it
that's
is.
Sardinia.
Eastern Brown, that's Tuesday.
On the 30th, and then the 1st, Valley. So next week. That is next. The 1st is next week.
Thursday.
Jiminy Christmas.
Yeah.
Then Berg. I don't see.
Friday.
Looks like. Well, there's one Memphis game. There should
the
be
last
another
game of
one
the year. Yeah, they haven't put it on there
thrown
yet.
in there.
We
so,
haven't been scheduled yet.
Well, definitely unfortunate series of events for the mighty Minford Falcons. So turning to the Piketon Red Streaks. Like I said, they played last night. They are 6-8 overall, 2-5 in the SVC, and the Adena Warriors came to town and left victorious last night. And Raj and I called the game. T-Fred, you were there watching it. I'm kind of interested to get your thoughts on the game before I go over the box score.
Well, before I mention it, let's run down the FVC standings. Zane Trace, these are updated according to me. So if I'm wrong, call me, not anybody else. But ZT at 6-1 because Unioto defeated them last night.
It's a 2-point victory, wasn't it? I think Blake Fitch got the
let's
winning
see
shot.
Here, 59-58.
So a 1-point victory.
That's what I've got now. So who knows? But anyway, ZT at 6-1, Unioto 6-1, Adena 5-2, Westfall 5-2, Southeastern 2-5, Piketon 2-5, Paint Valley and Huntington at 1-6. As far as the game last night, I was really impressed with the Adena guards. They were really, really quick, and they shot the ball really well.
Yeah.
And I had mentioned to Coach Childers, I said, listen, I saw them over at Fairfield, and if they play anything like that, I said, you guys are in for a dogfight because they shot it well against Hillsboro, and they were going around the defensive guys.
Almost like they weren't even there, almost,
Yeah, almost like they were not well, they were there, but it was just they just got some easy looks because their penetration really hurt the Piketon defense.
Yeah.
And then
Badly.
And then what hurt Piketon was they were getting lost on the shuffle cuts of Adena, and they were getting easy looks late.
Yes.
I mean, when they started building the lead, they got some easy looks off of that. And then I tell you what else hurt Piketon was their turnovers. I mean, they
had a lot of turnovers.
Yeah, when Adena started getting the lead, it seemed like the turnovers found a way to be turnovers even more, and that just hurt the Streaks. And feel for them, and just got to learn from them. We've been there and done that with Waverly, so I mean, that's what I told Chili. I said, they're still kids, and they're playing hard and they're trying to do the best they can. They it just seems like, what was it? I don't know if you said it, somebody said it, but sometimes it seems like when it rains on them, it pours. Whether it's turnovers or whatever.
Well, and they traveled up to Greenfield on Saturday, and they took on a really struggling Greenfield team who is, I believe, last in the FAC.
They are.
They're in that division with Chillicothe, Hillsboro, Miami Trace.
They're 0-7.
0-7, and it's almost like the Red Streaks kind of went up there thinking, hey, they're 3-11, 0-7, maybe took them for granted, and it just did not go
It
our way.
backfired for them.
It was just defensively, the Red Streaks. I mean, they didn't turn they forced some turnovers. They just couldn't kind of finish. Their rebounds were okay. They just couldn't shoot the ball either. I mean, I think they were 3 for 18 from the 3-point line. Just nothing was kind of going their way, and Greenfield really looked. They were very, very slow and methodical on offense, and they were able to pass the ball around until they got a hole and they took it and they were hitting their shots. But we were hoping that they would turn the page, because the first time the Streaks met the Warriors, it was a 1-point loss.
Right.
And you mentioned turnovers, T-Fred. That game, the first game against Adena, we had 18 turnovers. Last night we had 17.
Wow.
But Adena only had 8 last night. And Adena, they weren't doing too great from the 3-point line, but neither was Piketon. I think we were 4 for 23.
Yeah.
They were 2 for 10. I mean, they just got us inside, like you said. They would get that step and
those two
penetrate.
guards just took care of the ball and put it right in while we just stood there and watched them do it.
And I definitely talked about that when I got home. But I mean, they had 3 players in double digits. Jody Ader had 18. Easton Hennis had 15, and Caden Lee had 11, and then Bryson Smith had 9. I mean, they were all over the place, and I don't know. We got another SVC matchup tomorrow. I hope we can turn the page. I know Southeastern is tough despite their record. I think they're tied with Piketon 2 and 5.
5.
So I think they've got the better overall record. But hopefully the Streaks can get back in the win column. At least I'd like to get 2 this week. Travel up to the pit and beat Zane Trace. That would be amazing. But we got to start getting these victories, because we're coming down.
We're running out of time.
Yeah, we've only got couple weeks left. I think 8 games after tomorrow, or maybe 8 games including tomorrow.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's crunch time. We want to get a good tournament draw. Going over the scoring for the Red Streaks, Luke Going got his first 3 varsity points this season, I think, ever.
I heard that call. When I was going home, I heard him make one, and you was
tickled for him. Got a good 3. I know the teammates, Declan said he was super excited for Goyen. Brent McGuire had 13. Declan had 9. Now, 5 of Deck's points were from the free throw line. He was pretty happy about that. Garrett Lake had 12, and the Beast, Bo Henry, had 14. So, I mean, it just unfortunate situation last night with the loss, and we're still kind of down there in the bottom of the SVC. Hopefully, we can get ourselves out of it.
Well, we played Southeastern first game of the year, and they have 3 guards that are pretty decent if they're all available. I haven't seen them for a while, so I don't know how things are going. They lost to Westfall last night, 65-47. So we beat them, I think, 51-48 in overtime, if I remember right, back in the first game of the year.
51-48 right there.
So they're not scoring a bunch of points, but their guards can shoot it, and I tell you where Piketon is going to hurt people and hurt them is on the interior. I mean, the Beast, you guys, Bo Henry, him, and I think Garrett Legg needs to be in the post a little more to help him out.
Exactly.
To be honest with you, I think they just if they can go inside out more and cut back on the turnovers, I think they're going to be okay. I mean, I know it's a tough loss. But they got Southeastern tomorrow. That's a game. That's a very winnable game.
Mm-hmm.
And then Friday, it's a dogfight because, you go up, ZT's going to be upset because they just lost to Uniota. So I don't know. Do they Chili was saying something about is one of their players out for ZT, or do you know?
I heard 2, but the one that I heard that was out, LJ, he played last night because I watched a little bit of that game when I got home just to kind of see the highlights. And Declan and Blake Fitch have played AAU together, and Declan and Landon Jarrell actually would get paired a lot in golf, so they got to know each other. So we were kind of watching them a little bit. But one of their big guys is out, from my understanding, but I don't know which one.
Okay.
So, I mean, but never want to ever wish for that or be glad to hear that, because that's just not right. So, but I don't know what to expect, and it's always a tough time going up there. I do enjoy going up there to the pit. I like the setup. I like the food.
I was about ready to say now, tell the truth.
No, they
A hot
have,
dog.
they've got like this hot dog up there that's got all this stuff on it, like sauerkraut. And I made the mistake last year before I called the game of eating one of these things, and it was just delicious. But the whole game I was belching, so we're gonna have to get up there super early, Rod, so we can have that.
Yeah, I got to try one.
Yeah, it's super. I can't remember what they call it, but it's the giant hot dog with all the junk on it. It's awesome.
Well, I know he had the same problem with us in football.
I couldn't
I
eat.
can't eat. I said, man, you got to eat something. And he was, no, because I'll be belching the whole game.
Yeah, I learned that from Zane Trace. But well, fellas, what else we got to talk about real quick before we send it to our first break?
Oh, well, I don't know. I mean, what are we gonna do? I've got the girls and the boys on the standings, and I've also, you might want to go over the scores from Tuesday night or.
Well, real quick
Rod's
here,
can
yeah,
or
we can go over the scores real quick, and then we're going to send it to break. And then what we're going to do is we're going to play the interview that we conducted with Coach Doug Williams a couple weeks ago. We're going to play that for you guys in case you missed it. Then we're all going to come back and play the interview with Coach Ethan Leist. Then we can come back. Let's just do that now. We're going to take a break right now. We're going to be back here on 100.1 WXEQ and on Total Media on YouTube. And I don't think I'm streaming on Facebook. I don't know what the problem is, but it's probably some operator error with me. It always is. But let's go ahead and take a break. We'll come back. We'll play the Western interview, play the Eastern interview. Then we'll break down the rest of the season with the rankings and all this RPI stuff that T-Fred came up with. So back here in 2 minutes on 100.1 WXEQ.
Re-elect Tracy D. Evans, Pike County Sheriff. As your Pike County Sheriff, Tracy D. Evans has updated the 911 communication system to comply with state standards, has obtained over $500,000 in state grants to lessen county expense, has brought the DARE program to all Pike County schools. Pike County Sheriff Tracy D. Evans is seeking funding from House Bill 33 for a new jail construction in Pike County. And the Pike County Sheriff's Office is a member of the Multi-County Major Crimes Task Force. Re-elect Tracy D. Evans, Pike County Sheriff. Susan Carrico, CPA Treasurer. If you're in the market to buy or sell a home or even a piece of property, then look no further than your hometown real estate and auction experts at Brewster Real Estate and Auction, located in the heart of Waverly at 200 East Emmett Avenue. Phone 740-947-7577 or check them out online at brewsterauction.com. Brewster Real Estate and Auction, a proud sponsor of Pike County High School sports.
Ritchie's Backyard Barbecue. Stop in for brisket, pulled pork, delicious baby back ribs, smoked wings for all you smokehouse fans, and tons of other choices, including specialty pizzas, burgers, subs, salads, and appetizers. And the best steaks and country-style ribs around. A great atmosphere awaits you at Ritchie's Backyard Barbecue with 8 big screen TVs and a full wall TV projector for all those sporting events. We cater and have a banquet room, too. Give us a call at 740-443-6303 for all your fabulous food needs. Ritchie's Backyard Barbecue. Brewster's Hometown Pharmacy is a family-owned, independent retail pharmacy located at 104 Thornton Drive in Piketon, accepting all major insurance, offering prescription medication and over-the-counter products, immunizations, free countywide delivery, text messaging when your prescriptions are ready. A refill link is available on our website, brewstersrx.com, or call 740-648-3020. Check out our excellent selection of must-have items. Brewster's Hometown Pharmacy, 104 Thornton Drive, Piketon.
Please elect Tim Dickerson, Pike County Sheriff in 2024. Tim Dickerson is a lifelong resident of Pike County and has over 28 years of law enforcement experience. Tim Dickerson brings the knowledge and experience that will reduce crime, establish great community relations, and eliminate wasteful spending. Pike County residents can expect more in 24. Elect Tim Dickerson, Pike County Sheriff. Paid for by the candidate, Tim Dickerson.
All righty, welcome back to Ritchie's Inside the Paint. And what we're going to do for you right now is I'm going to mute our mics here, and we're going to play the interview with Coach Doug Williams as soon as I get this figured out. So here we go. So joining us tonight is head coach Doug Williams. Doug, welcome to Ritchie's Inside the Paint. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for the invite.
So just tell us a little bit about yourself. How long have you been the head coach at Western?
This is my 5th season at Western and my 21st season overall of coaching. My 12th season as a head boys basketball coach in Ohio. So,
where did you coach at before you came over here?
my first coaching job as an assistant was at Purcell Marion in downtown Cincinnati when I was still when I was in my 5th year at Miami. Because I played at Miami, I couldn't do my student teaching while I was playing. And so my 5th year that I was there and I was doing my student teaching, they kind of hooked me up with Purcell, and I worked as a varsity assistant that first year. My first teaching and head coaching job was at Western Brown High School in Brown County, which is where the rest of my family currently still resides and lives and works. So, and then I went out of state for a little while. I worked in Pennsylvania for 4 years. And then I came back and I worked at Portsmouth West for a year. And then because of my ties at Western Brown, Georgetown invited me to be their boys coach. I worked there for 3 years. And I mean, Western's a dream job for me. Ties.
Yeah.
I grew up wanting to be my grandfather. I didn't think I would be at the same school, but that's who I wanted to be growing up. And it's really cool for me to be able to do it at Western. So,
now, who's your grandfather? I know those people do know, but who?
Hecky Thompson,
that's
coached
right.
there for 20 years. He passed in '83, I think, when I was 2. 300 wins, 68. They went to the state tournament. So, I mean, those are some of the seasons he's well known for.
I was at that state tournament game, and they were this close because if they beat Mansfield St. Peter's, they win it. They really do.
Yeah.
73-70, I believe, was the score, and they were right there the whole way. Chip Long and company, and I'm trying to think, Ray Jordan. I mean, there's some big names, but what I liked about Western that year is I don't know how some of these people might remember. They had the green jackets. And they all sat there, and it was their turn. You could see them walking into the locker room, and I think Bobby Thompson of Waverly was the chaperone because it was at St. John Arena. And I believe Bobby took them into the locker room for their game, and I thought that was really cool. And I was 7 years old, but I said,
Check out our excellent selection of must-have items. Brewster's Hometown Pharmacy, 104 Gordon Drive, Piketon.
All right. We're having all kinds of technical difficulties. I got it now. I know what I did. I think we're back. Sorry about all that.
We are back live.
I hope so. I do hear an echo somewhere, but I think it's at other radios.
Yeah.
So, again, we were trying to play those interviews. It didn't work. I'm sure it's something on my end that I've screwed up, so I apologize for that. But T-Fred, you looks like you got a lot going on right there, buddy. You got your highlighter. You got some stats. That's Max Prep's RPI. That's the new ranking system.
well, yes, it is. And just for information, go to OHSAA and and just type in Max Preps RPI or just OHSAA RPI, and this will come up. And this is the official printout. It gives you the records and one loss, their points, all kinds of goodies. I mean, it really is. So I guess I will do the girls first, since ladies first.
That's right.
Right now in Division II, there are, and if I'm wrong, blame the printouts because I'm reading it right off here. There's 19 teams in Division Two in the Southeast District. So that's how your tournament pair. That's everybody that's going to be in your sectional district, whatever you want to call it.
Mm-hmm.
The top, if there's 19 teams, and I don't know if number 1 or 2 gets a bye. I haven't studied it enough to know. You would think number 1 would get a bye, but who knows? But anyway, the top, you divide that in half, and those guys will, the topper echelon, in other words, 1 through 8 or 1 through 9 in this case, I guess, they will be the home team because they're ranked higher. So it's very possible you're going to get a home game, at least for the first one. Now, the second game, the championship game, is going to be at a neutral site.
I was wondering how they're going to do that this year.
That's going to be neutral, and I don't know where they're going to play it. I'm guessing, say, Southeastern seems one of the, Jackson Southeastern, maybe Waverly. Who knows where they're going to play it. But in girls action, Thornville Sheridan is 15-0. They're the number 1 team. Just to read down maybe the top 10, Fairland is in the 2-hole at 15-1. Circleville's 3 at 15-0. Unionota is 4 at 15-2. And I can't believe anybody's beat them, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Jackson is 5 at 13-2. Athens is 12-4. 6. Marietta's 12-4. 7. 8 is Vincent Warren at 12-5. New Lexington is 8-8. Now, and then the 10th team is Hillsboro at 8-9. Now, Waverly girls fall right now. They're 7-8, and they're in the 14 spot. So, if they stay there, they're on the road, and they'll play one of those other teams. It'll all be set up, and this is a lot like football. There's some difference to it. Chili tried to explain it to me. I'm going to talk to him some more about it so I can explain it better to maybe the people that are listening. But just a little heads-up action there on the girls. And D3, Portsmouth is number 1. They're at 14-2. Adine is 2. Peebles is 3. North Adams is 4. West is 5. Memphis is 6. River Valley 7. Lynchburg Clay is 8. Federal Hocking 9. South Webster 10. And Piketon is number 19. Number 19, and that is girls basketball. So there are 31 teams there, so you're going to take the top 16 or 15. I'm just going to draw a line here. If you're in the top 15 or 16, which I don't know how they'll do it, right? It's going to be right in there somewhere. You get a home game.
Yeah.
So right now, Southeastern or Piketon's on the outside looking in at 7-9, and they got to make some hay while there's a chance to make it and get back up, maybe where they can get a home game in tournament action. Then in Division 4, I think 4 is Eastern and Western are both 4, right? Yeah. Eastern is 11 and Western is 18. There are 18 teams, so 9, the first 9. Waterford's number 1 at 13-2. Notre Dame, South Gaia, Sims Valley, White Oak, Green Valley, New Boston, Racine Southern, and Trimble are the top 10. Eastern is 11 at 3-11, and Western is 1-14, and they are the 18th team. So, I don't. Like I said, I'm not sure if the 1 hole will get a bye. I mean, I'll ask Chili tonight when I talk to him, or whoever I talk to, Coach Carino or whoever. But Chili's on top of this a lot more than I am, and I'm just now. Like you said, we're past the halfway point. We're 12th game, 13th game, 14th game, and it's time to start looking. And then in boys action, that was the one I got figured out because we cover the boys a lot. In Division 2, Marietta is 14-1. They're number 1. Courthouse is 2. New Lexington 3. Vincent Warren is 4. Miami Trace is 5. Benton County is 6. Meggs is 7. Jackson 8. Unionota is 9. And Waverly at 7-5 is at 10. There are 20 teams, so the top 10, unless somebody gets a bye, which, like I said, I don't know, but the top, you divide it in half. Waverly would have a home game if they can stay 10 or above.
Yeah, right.
So, good luck to the Tigers, and we got some rough games coming up, so we'll see. In Division 3, Memphis is 1, Berg is 2, North Adams 3, Portsmouth 4, Fairland 5, Northwest 6, Chesapeake 7, South Point 8. Eastern Brown 9, Ironton 10. The dividing line, or the line of demarcation, I believe. I don't know why I was thinking that, but it popped in my brain. I'm saying 15 or 16. That would be at Zane Trace right now. But Piketon rests at 19 also in boys action. They're 6 and 8, and they are 19th out of 29 teams. So I'm assuming, it's going to be 14, 15, 16. Right in there will be the line of demarcation for a home game.
Mm-hmm.
But they still have games to play. And in D4, South Webster 12 and 2 is one. Leesburg, probably one of the best teams I've seen. I saw them against Western. They're 16 and 0. Now people are asking, oh, wait a minute. South Webster's 12 and 2 and Fairfield 16 and 0. It goes a little more by not so much wins as it is strength of schedule.
Exactly.
Who you beat,
play.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, we're kind of fell victim to that in football this year with Piketon. Their strength of schedule kept them down and kept them out of the playoffs.
Yeah, so that's why, you see teams like Federal Hawkins 9 and 5, and then Notre Dame's 8 and 3. So you're saying, well, how are they ahead? Well, their schedule's tougher.
Mm-hmm.
Trimble, Simmons Valley, South Guy is 7, Manchester 8, Beaver Eastern is 9 at 6 and 7, and I'm saying again 20 teams in Division 4. So the line of demarcation again at 10, probably right in there somewhere, 10 or 11. So stay above that if you want a home game. And Western is 15th at 4 and 10. Western is 15th. So, that's kind of where the boys and girls stand as far as the RPI for the tournament draw. And I believe it's going to be, I don't know how they're going to draw it up, but it's usually 2 games in a sectional, 2 in a district, 2 in a region, and then 2 at state, usually.
So with that, what you've got there, that means all those teams, they will get a tournament draw somewhere. Okay.
Yes.
It's just depending on how tough it's going to be your first game and whether it's going to be home or away. Yep. So like the very last seed will probably play the number 1 seed.
Yeah. That's kind of how. Yeah, I think that's how it's going to work. But I don't know if there's going to be with an odd number of teams.
Mm-hmm.
I would say somebody will have to get a bye.
They have to, yeah.
So I don't know how that works. Like I said, I'll find more info on that.
Of course, all this is going to change because we've still got a few games.
Yeah.
I mean, you're talking 14 games in with 8 to go, basically 8 or 9. Of course, in our case, we have 10 to go because we haven't played for a week and a half. So the Tigers have 10 more to go, and and you're right, Raj, it's going to change, and we're hoping that, I'm glad to see it get back to where, you're playing. I don't mind a home game in a tournament for game 1, but it used to be when we played, it was a neutral site for everything. When I played, we played 1 year at Paint Valley, was our AA sectional out there with Washington Courthouse, Hillsborough, and all those guys. And then the second year was at Uniota. Mm-hmm. So, and we played both. We played Washington Courthouse 2 years in a row and lost both times to them in the sectional championship. And but I like the neutral site, I really do, and I'm glad to see it. I'm glad to see it, guys, and I hope we get there. It's back at Athens. It's back at the Combo.
Exactly.
The district, both games are there, and the regional, both games are there. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Hopefully, we'll get to a game or some games over there.
Yeah, I'd love to go.
Yeah, 'cause it's fun doing it over there at the Combo.
Yeah, they changed that for COVID, right, with the home sites.
Yeah. That messed up everything.
Now hopefully get back to normal. So, but yeah, it doesn't look like. I mean, we're going to do home games this year, but. Like I said, we have plenty of time.
There's still a chance for Piketon to play a home game.
I'd like to see that because, I guess it really does. It matters where we finish, but it also matters where we finish overall.
Right.
So, I don't know how many more non-conference games we have. Maybe just a couple. As I look for Piketon's boys' schedule, I pulled their girls' schedule. It looks like so we only have one non-conference game left. So the games we play from here on out, we have Southeastern, ZT, Portsmouth West, Paint Valley, Huntington, Westfall, Southeastern, and the U at Piketon. that's our last game. Because I don't think we didn't cancel any non-conference games. We only had the one game. Now, that could change, of course, with the weather or whatever is going to happen. But, it looks like it's going to be conference games for us from here on out.
Well, that's they went to 3 divisions in our conference, so that's why it's a little different. We only have 10 league games.
Mm-hmm. I kind of like the way SOC has divvied that out, but I'm that's all I'll say. I just kind of like the way they've distributed the teams and stuff with the SOC 1, 2, and 3.
Yep.
Seems like it's a better option.
Yes,
but,
it is. Balanced better, isn't
yeah.
it? Yeah.
With us, we're 8 teams in the SVC. We're the only Pike County team in it. Everything else is Ross County except for Westfall, and we play some bigger schools, but we got in the SVC in the 60s, I think, and have been there ever since. So, that's fine. But I kind of like the balance of the SOC. But I have full faith in our Red Streaks. I think they're going to figure this out. Just a couple bad games. Turning the page for our Red Streaks and try to get back in the win column tomorrow.
Hopefully that happens.
Yeah, Rockin' Raj and I haven't sung for
it's been a while.
Yeah, and that's kind of what, getting back to Piketon, I hate to just keep, but they played a Division II school that's a good school, and they just put it to them with the Hillsboro Indians. You were there part of that game. That was a heck of a game.
They played well.
And if Chili gets you an explanation on this, he's been lacking on getting me the history. I like that. Every game he sends me some historical facts about each team because he's our historian now. He's missed a few. So
he has. And you know what? I was driving over here and I thought one thing we always tried to have in football was a question,
Yeah, well, I was gonna.
I can't even think what it was.
We wanted to do that, this, but it just kind of never came to fruition, I guess. But now we've got the info. But yeah, Chili just needs to keep sending it to me because I love giving those facts, the history of the Red Streaks, the history. Just like the rivalry, the Piketon and Waverly history. There was tons of history there between these two teams. They've met each other more times than they've met anybody else, at least for Piketon. And they didn't play for 30 years almost. So
right.
just all that cool history that I didn't even know. And I can, I like history, and I do know a lot of Pike County history, but I didn't know that stuff. So, the history against Southeastern or Huntington or Paint Valley or whatever, it's just interesting to me. So I love broadcasting it on the air.
Yeah. Well, and like you said, we could eventually, next year or whatever, or maybe tournament time or whatever, but we have a trivia question on some of that history, and we'll see some of the listeners, maybe somebody in the crowd can say, hey, man, I got it.
Well, yeah, and that would be, that's definitely on the plate if we keep this going next year. I know I want to keep it going for the rest of the season for sure, because we definitely want to circle back to Piketon and Waverly. I want to get all 4 of the girls' teams in here. We've already had Piketon last week, and that was an excellent show.
It really was. That was a really good show.
Go back and check it out. It's on YouTube and on Facebook, Main Street TV, Total Media Radio on YouTube. That was an excellent show. We had a lot of fun. Roger embarrassed those poor girls to death. Every one of them's faces was as red as this tablecloth. Actually, if you check out the Piketon Hillsboro game at halftime, Rockin' Raj went into the crowd and embarrassed a couple people, and I got yelled at when I got home.
You got yelled at?
I did, because you zeroed in on my mother-in-law for one, and she said, he knows my name.
Yeah, and your wife, she just got up and abandoned her mom.
She left her mother, and she said, and went up, and old Raj followed her, buddy. But, I think we're going to try to get back out on the crowd tomorrow night at halftime and try to get some energy going and cheer on our Red Streaks. We need to get some video crews over there for your team, Steve Fred.
I know. Me and Dee were talking about that last night, about some, maybe getting a Waverly game somewhere down the line. But, it'll happen. Well,
I'll tell you what. Let's take a break here on 100.1 XZQ and on Total Media Radio on YouTube and Main Street TV on Facebook. And we'll come back and wrap it up back in 3 minutes.
Please elect Tim Dickerson Pike County Sheriff in 2024. Tim Dickerson is a lifelong resident of Pike County and has over 28 years of law enforcement experience. Tim Dickerson brings the knowledge and experience that will reduce crime, establish great community relations, and eliminate wasteful spending. Pike County residents can expect more in 24. Elect Tim Dickerson, Pike County Sheriff. Paid for by the candidate Tim Dickerson. If you're in the market to buy or sell a home or even a piece of property, then look no further than your hometown real estate and auction experts at Brewster Real Estate and Auction, located in the heart of Waverly at 200 East Emmett Avenue. Phone 740-947-7577 or check them out online at brewsterauction.com. Brewster Real Estate and Auction, a proud sponsor of Pike County High School sports.
Per tire. We're Yeti to help you save money, protect your car, and keep your family safe. Rent a set of Mastercraft tires starting at $15 per week and get the fourth tire for free. That's get 3 and 1 is free. And we will install them for free. Shop tires today at www.r20.com.
Ritchie's Backyard Barbecue. Stop in for brisket, pulled pork, delicious baby back ribs, smoked wings for all you smokehouse fans, and tons of other choices, including specialty pizzas, burgers, subs, salads, and appetizers, and the best steaks and country-style ribs around. A great atmosphere awaits you at Ritchie's Backyard Barbecue with 8 big screen TVs and a full wall TV projector for all sporting events. We cater and have a banquet room too. Give us a call at 740-443-6303 for all your fabulous food needs. Ritchie's Backyard Barbecue.
Remember a loved one with warmth, with affection, and a family tribute.
When I lost Janet, I was a bit lost myself, but the funeral home made all the difference.
If you're making funeral arrangements, talk to our caring staff. We will see to every detail and make a trying time a family tribute. Boyer Funeral Home, located in Waverly and Piketon.
Brewster's Hometown Pharmacy is a family-owned, independent retail pharmacy located at 104 Thornton Drive in Piketon, accepting all major insurance, offering prescription medication and over-the-counter products, immunizations, free countywide delivery, text messaging when your prescriptions are ready. A refill link is available on our website, brewstersrx.com, or call 740-648-3020. Check out our excellent selection of must-have items. Brewster's Hometown Pharmacy, 104 Thornton Drive, Piketon.
Welcome back to Ritchie's Backyard Barbecue here in Piketon. Don't have a team tonight, but Waverly girls had to cancel on us, so we're trying to improvise the best that we can to make sure we keep the show. I want to go over some scores from last night. We talked about this one. Adina over Piketon, 63-51. Huntington over Paint Valley, 59-58, and I believe that's their first win in the SVC. Am I right?
It is, yeah, it is.
So they're 1-6, and Paint Valley's 1-6.
Yep.
Unioto over Zane Trace, 59-58. That was a nail biter till the end. Westfall over Southeastern, 65-47. Logan Elm over Chillicothe, 47-39. Jackson over Western Brown, 70-57. Berg beat West, 54-53. South Webster beat Lucasville Valley, 59-40. Northwest beat Eastern, 66-57. That's Eastern Pike. South Gallia over Oak Hill, 43-36. New Boston over Clay, 39-35. I don't have the Western at Sims Valley score. Do you have that, T. Fred?
Well, I saw it somewhere and tried to find it. Western lost, I believe. It was like 59-53 or 59-52, 58-52. It was a good ball game, but I think Western lost.
Green over Ironton St. Joe, 52-49. Notre Dame over Portsmouth East, 72-42. Federal Hawking over Nelsonville York, 72-65. Meigs over Athens, 59-46. Vinton County over River Valley, 80-45. Wellston over Alexander, 59-57. Tays Valley over Logan, 58-49. South Point over Colgrove, 58-50. Chesapeake defeated Ironton, 54-44. Portsmouth defeats Rock Hill, 72-66. Fairland over Gallia Academy, 64-42. Fairfield over Greenfield McLean, 53-30. Now Fairfield, they're probably 16-0 now,
Yeah.
and they're still number 2 in their breakdown.
Yep.
North Adams over Fayetteville, 44-37. Lynchburg Clay over Ripley, 61-26, and White Oak over West Union, 73-38. That's all your boys' scores from Tuesday, January 23rd. Make sure I have the right date.
It was.
For girls, Amanda Clear Creek over Logan Elm, 55-36. Tays Valley over Fairfield Union, 46-31. Circleville over Hamilton Township, 66-37. Bloom Carroll over Liberty Union, 54-26. Looking at some of the local games for girls action on Monday, we got West over Waverly, 55-24. Eastern defeated Western, 53-30. I don't believe Piketon played Monday night. They suffered a pretty big defeat against the Uniota Shermans on Saturday. I think that was 51-17. So a tough break for the girls, and I'm not sure when they're actually the girls. I got their schedule right here in front of me. They are next. They play the 26th at Huntington, and I think is that Friday. Yeah, that's Friday. Yep. They play Friday the 26th at Huntington. So go up there and check out the girls. Hopefully they bring a victory for the Red Streaks. So that was kind of your scores. And just upcoming for the Red Streaks, like I said, tomorrow we are back in action. We're going to have it live right here on 100.1 WXEQ, Total Media Radio on YouTube, and Main Street TV on Facebook. We've got to fix my Facebook streaming here for my eCam. Then the Red Streaks will head up to Zane Trace on January 30th to play Zane Trace in the pit. And I got the date wrong on that. I'm sorry. On the 27th. Looking at the girls' schedule. The Eastern Eagles, they play, I guess it'd be helpful if I had this. Their next game is the 26th, so Friday at Oak Hill. The Western Indians, their next game is Northwest at Western on the 26th. So everybody but the Piketon boys will be in action on Friday, because you said you have a game this Friday, right?
Yeah.
And Waverly plays next win, T-Fred.
Waverly's got Friday, Saturday this week. Friday at home with the Portsmouth West Senators, and then Saturday we travel to Miami Trace.
And you said Miami Trace they're leading in the FAC, correct?
7-0, yep.
All right. Well, I tell you what, guys, that's really all I've got for tonight. You guys have anything else to say before we wrap it up?
Just go Streaks tomorrow. Bring home a victory.
Let's bring home a victory. Let's cheer on your Red Streaks. Make sure that if you can't come out to the oven, because it will be at home, tune in here on YouTube, Facebook, and 100.1 WXZQ. And with any luck, Rockin' Raj and the Madman will be singing a duet. Turn out the lights. The party's over. And I'm hoping to get Rockin' Raj in the crowd at halftime to embarrass some fans. And T-Fred, you're calling it on 100.9 XIZ on Friday.
Saturday, yeah.
Friday, Saturday.
Me and T-Dog Edwards.
We should have had him come down today. Get him on the show.
I'm going to get him here 4 seasons up.
All right. So I'll tell you what, we're going to go ahead and just wrap her up early tonight, guys, because the schedule changes. Next week, we will be back here at 7 p.m. on Wednesday, barring any schedule changes or weather or anything like that. And it will be the Eastern Eagles girls team.
Exactly.
The Lady Eagles will be here. They're going to bring, Eastern travels well. They'll bring a crowd down here to the party room here at Ritchie's Backyard Barbecue. So make sure to come out, cheer on your favorite Lady Eagle. Rockin' Raj will be in the crowd, getting everybody fired up. Maybe we'll throw a trivia question in there or two if I can get something about Eastern. Maybe they can win some stuff, or we can have somebody call in to win maybe a free pizza or something. But with that being said, I'm the Madman. He's T-Fred. That's Rockin' Raj. Good night, everybody. Have a pleasant tomorrow.
Be safe.
Thanks for joining us for Ritchie's Inside the
all
Paint,
the hits.
presented by Rockwater Campground.
The hits are on.
Join us again next Wednesday night at 7 o'clock.